Welcome. I'm Rebecca, and this is Yoga for Cancer, and I welcome you on this rainy day. I hope that you and yours are safe and well, and I'm glad that you're able to be here for yoga. So it is continuing to be an unusual time, but I was able to take a trip and that to see family, and that made kind of filled up my well. And we talked, I think, last week a little bit about how we nourish ourselves, how we find ways to fill up and take care of ourselves. So I hope that you're able to do that. I want to encourage folks to come to our Friday meditation class. It's been really wonderful, and we have a lovely opportunity at the end, off camera, off recording, to connect and talk and share what we're experiencing in the class. So I encourage you to try it out. It's Fridays at noon. And if you get my email, then you have the link. If not, then you can get in touch with me or in touch with Cancer Support Community to get that information. So let's go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seat for some grounding and opening meditation. Maybe you'd like to sit up tall on a cushion or in a chair, or even lie down and lengthen your spine. Begin to notice your sensory environment. What is around you? If your eyes are still open, take a look around your space. What is the light like? What are the patterns, textures that you see? I see the raindrops on the window, and it's quite beautiful because I'm inside, safe and warm. Notice the temperature of your space, maybe the air currents. I have a ceiling fan. And then begin to bring your attention more deeply inward. Perhaps you close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Begin to notice what you can hear in your space beyond the sound of my voice. Can you begin to discern things that are close by and what's further away? Can you hear the sound of your own breathing? Sense the sound of your heartbeat. Allow your breath to deepen. Maybe bring your hands to your low belly, your abdomen, and feel the sensation of breath just flowing gently, excuse me, in and out, right at the belly. Feeling that downward press of the diaphragm that creates this abdominal pressure. Makes it feel like we're breathing into our bellies. Now bring your hands to the outer rib cage and see if you can breathe into your hands, expanding your rib cage. Bring it right into your hands. And then bring your hands to heart center and breathe right here. Release your hands and let's see if we can put that all together into the yogic three-part Dirga breath. It's almost like taking 3 sips of air. The first sip goes down, then we fill up wide into the rib cage, and then we sit tall, breathing into the heart space, and then exhale and let it all out. But it's a continuous breath. So let's see if we can find this 3-part breath. Inhale into belly. Expand into ribs. At the top of the inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, let it all go. We'll do several like this, so take your time, inhaling to belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, releasing. Filling up like water fills a cup from the bottom to the top. And then pouring the breath out. Stay with 3-part breath or release it and come into your natural breath. As you inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine, sitting taller if you're sitting, reaching your crown towards the sky. As you exhale, release and drop more deeply into the support beneath you, into the earth. Inhaling to lengthen. Feel the strength of your inner body, your center, as you lengthen. Exhale, keep that sense of strength and release everything else around it. We have this core of strength at our center. And if we use it along with our alignment of the spine, we can let the outer muscles release a little bit. So starting at the crown of the head, can you soften your scalp, your face, your jaw and neck? Relaxing shoulders down your back. You can circle a few times, up, back, and down. And then leave the shoulders there. Let the arms hang from there, palms down, maybe on your lap. Keep that sense of strength and lift on the inhales, that sense of grounding and settling on the exhales. Softening through the center area, not the middle. Releasing your sides, your waist, your hips, and each leg. Let it feel connected, grounded to the earth. And yet we can still inhale and rise up away, growing, striving and reaching for the sun. Let's take 5 breaths right here. And after your 5th exhale, completely release control of the breath and see if you can settle into a comfortable, natural breath. The body breathes without any input, but we can change the breath. And when we change the breath, we can change our mood, our physical state, our psycho-emotional state. So we practice. And coming back into the space. When you're ready, if eyes are closed, blink them open. Take in the environment once again, and then we'll continue with our sun breaths. Inhale, palms up, float the arms up. Exhale, turn palms down and let the arms float down. Moving with your breath, so it takes the whole inhale to raise arms to whatever the comfortable level is, and then exhale and slowly lower them down. Let's do a couple more. Inhaling up, beginning to connect movement and breath. This is key to the yogic process. And the next time that you're inhaling, lifting up, reach up, and then lower one hand and come up and over with the other. Maybe you bend your elbow, hand behind your head, or maybe you can extend a long arm. Breathing in to the waist, the side ribs. Use an inhale to switch sides, coming up and over, and stay opening up the side body, curling a little deeper maybe, and then inhaling up and over. Take your time, moving side to side, using the breath to help you open up from the inside out, almost like you're blowing up a balloon that helps you to stretch. And maybe once more to each side. And then we'll meet in the middle. And release down. Let's inhale, arms out to shoulder height. Turn palms up. Bend your elbows coming into our goddess arms. Inhale here, draw your shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest, the heart. And then exhale, bring one arm towards the other, turn and look. Inhale back to center, exhale, turn to the other side. Inhale back to center, and then maybe draw both elbows towards each other. They don't have to touch. Inhale and open. Exhale, turn to one side. Inhale to open. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to open. Exhale both together. Inhale, open. Go ahead and go through this arm vinyasa one or two more times at your own speed, resting if you need to, and then we'll continue together in a moment. And when you've finished, release your arms down. It should feel good to let go. Shake them out. Take your time. And let's work with another twist. Inhale up. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Then inhale to get tall and exhale, twist a little further. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale, lengthen the spine, make space. Exhale, twist a little more deeply. And take your time, a couple to each side. Staying for that extra breath. Notice what you feel as you work through these beginning movements. This is a good check-in time. See, what are you arriving with today? I'll always have a moment in a yoga class or other kinds of body work where I go, ooh, I didn't know that was there. And this or the next time that you come through center, pause, and we'll continue. I'm going to slide back a little bit here and bring my hands behind me, whoops, for support. Walking my feet out wide to the edges of the mat. Take a moment here to engage through your middle body. See if you can feel a sense of engagement of the low abdomen so that you're not so heavy in your hands. In fact, see if you can come up into your fingertips. I don't know if you can see that. And engage through the center body. Inhale here and then exhale. Drop your knees to one side. You see how my feet are wide enough so that this knee can come inside the other foot. You may or may not feel comfortable doing this, but that's what you should look for. Inhale back through center, and again, exhale, and see if you can drop your knee all the way. We're working on this internal and external rotation of both legs. Inhale through center and exhale. Inhale through center and exhale. Inhale through center, and this time drop your knees, release your other arm, the one that can come around in the same direction that your knees are going, and take a comfortable twist. Stay here or bring both hands down. I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see a little better. So I'm right here. You can stay there or walk your fingertips forward. Maybe you have space to come down onto your forearms. Maybe if you have your blocks handy, you can come down to them. Wherever you are, take a moment here to lengthen through the crown of your head and exhale into the twist. 2 more breaths. Lengthen on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Last one. And then press into fingertips. Come back up through center and exhale to the other side. Bring your arm around and stretch. And then bring both hands down. Begin to walk. Maybe you stay right here. Begin to walk forward if you have some more space. Maybe you can bring both forearms down. Maybe you need something like blocks, or I'll use my cushion on this side. On your inhale, see if you can lengthen, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, soften. 2 more. And last one. Press into your hands to come back through center. Extend your legs out long. Sit up tall if you'd like. You can keep your hands behind you if you want. And little tiny bounces to let go through the hips. Maybe windshield wipers. We need them today. And beautiful. Okay, we're going to come to hands and knees. We won't stay long. If that just simply does not work for you, that's perfectly fine. You can stay seated or you can lie down, and I'll do my best to give you cues from there as well. Have your blocks handy just in case you need them, and begin to set yourself up for tabletop work. So I like to have something underneath my knees to cushion them. For some people, if they have pain in their kneecaps, they might want to have a cushion or a folded blanket and then put it underneath their shins so their kneecaps can hover. That can help. Or maybe roll something up to put underneath your ankles if it's uncomfortable for you to have your toes extended. You can also always keep your toes curled under. You can be on your hands with palms spread wide, index fingers parallel, or fists or forearms. Take a moment to lengthen, finding your table. This is a very stable position. If you're seated, just sit up nice and tall. If you're lying on your back, lengthen your spine, bend your knees, and have your feet on the mat. We'll begin with our cat and cow, or pelvic tilt if you're lying down. Exhale and press the floor away as you tuck your tail. Lift your belly, release your head. Inhale and lift your tail, open the front body, and reach through the crown of the head. And continue. Exhale, tucking the tail, belly in and up. Release your head. Inhale, lifting the tail. Open the front body. Reach through the crown. Continue moving with your breath. If you're lying down, you'll just be pressing your low back down and then releasing the press. So it's like a cat-cow, but it's a little smaller movement. If you're seated, you'll rock to the back of your pelvis, holding onto your knees, and then rock your pelvis forward, opening the front body. So take your time moving through cat and cow until you're ready to come into a child's pose, toes together, knees wide apart, hips to heels, and then see if you can settle down, stacked fists or hands. If you're lying down, draw your knees in. If you're seated, you just rock back a little bit, hug your knees in. And we'll just take a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, press back up. Bring your knees underneath your hips, and we'll do just a little bit more here. Let's extend one leg behind you, toes curled under if you're on hands and knees. If you're lying on your back, just extend your leg, same seated. Pressing back here or flexing through your foot, getting a nice stretch. And then inhale and lift the leg just to hip height if you're on hands and knees. If you're lying down, you can extend the leg. You don't have to lift it. Keep a lot of integrity in your belly to support your low back. Stay here or add the reach of the opposite arm, getting nice and long. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee and elbow towards each other. Inhale out and exhale in. Couple more if you'd like. Like is a funny word. And this or the next time that you reach, get nice and long and come back to your starting position. Wiggle, waggle, whatever you need to do. And then move to the other side. Start with the stretch first, flexing through your foot. Inhale the leg to hip height. Stay or add the reach. Keep that belly engaged. Exhale and draw in knee and elbow. Inhale, reach. And a few more. And this or the next time that you come towards center, come back to your table. And we'll have one more child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, or draw your knees back and see if you can come down, either stacking your fists, stacking your hands, or maybe you can bring your forehead right to the mat. Taking several breaths into your back, exhaling and softening, letting go. 2 more big breaths. And then we'll move on together. And next inhale, press into your fingertips and come on up. Grab your blocks if you're working with blocks. And we'll do just a little bit more on hands and knees and then move on. Stepping the right leg in between your legs. I said right, but let me do this one. Begin to press your hips forward. You can do this lying down as well, drawing one knee in and straightening the other leg. As you press your hips forward, make sure your knee is over your ankle, right? So your heel isn't coming up. If your heel comes up, then walk your foot a little further forward. We're looking for length in the front of the other leg. Let's rock a little bit back and forth here. As you exhale, extend, and inhale, press forward, just gentle. And the next time that you're coming forward, stay here. You can stay right here or walk your hands up to your knee. Stay or add the reach of both arms. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, find your goddess arms, squeezing shoulder blades together. Inhale, bring one arm towards the other. Exhale, that's a better exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, both towards each other. Inhale to center. And exhale, hands to blocks. Curl your back toes under. Press back through your lunge. Beautiful. We're going to step our back foot forward to meet our front. So take one or more hops. Bend your knees. See how my back is nice and long. And then I can walk myself up. I know you've lost my head, but stay with me. Exhale and come back down. We're going to step back with that right leg. So we're in the lunge. And then slowly lower the knee down. So that's called a step back. It's really, we've just changed sides effectively. But we came up through a quick lunge and standing pose. So once again, check your alignment, pressing your hips forward, and make sure that your knee is over your ankle. And then we can rock a little bit forward and back. Lengthening the back of the left leg, the front of the right hip, or whichever side you're on. Just be on the other side, the opposite side. And the next time that you come forward, pause here. Maybe you walk your hands up to your knee. Feel free to stay here, or arms reach. Find your goddess arms. Inhale here. Exhale, draw one arm towards the other and turn. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. Inhale through center, exhale both. Inhale to open, exhale, hands to your blocks, curl back toes under. Come up through your lunge, and then step your back foot forward to meet your front, long spine, bent knees, hands to your knees, and walk yourself all the way up to sitting, standing. What is this? I think this is standing. Okay. Beautiful. We made it. I'm sorry when I keep us on our knees for too long. These poses are just so strengthening and elemental that I understand if being on hands and knees just doesn't work for you, that is fine, and we can adapt lying on your back, using extra cushioning under the knees. And here we are. We've come up to standing. Let's take a moment to find our mountain pose. Feet about hip distance apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Now, when I say feet hip distance apart, everyone goes like this because they have a different view of where their hips are. I mean your hip joints. So bring your legs underneath your hip joints so that they're coming straight out. Now, we've heard about this, what is it, the Q angle on women because we're wider here. We come in a little bit more. That's fine. Just find a comfortable, natural stance. And then shift around a little bit and notice if it's different than your natural stance. Maybe your natural stance is more like this, with one hip popped, hyperextending your knee, bending the other knee, maybe something to the other side. Just take a minute to notice and then come into a balanced stance. Rock forward and back, rock side to side. Feel your feet making contact with the ground. Imagine, we've done this block work before with the block between the shins. Imagine the block is there, hugging in as you move up the legs. Keep hugging in. Lift your pelvic floor. Lift your low belly. Lift your heart. Let's inhale and draw arms up, palms together. Look up, see if you can see your thumbs. If it's out here, that's fine. Exhale and draw hands to heart center. Look down. Stretch the back of your neck. We'll do it 2 more times. Lift your head and look out at your horizon line, finding your focal point, your drishti, something that's not moving. Eyes fixed on your focal point. Check again that you're balanced on your feet and engaged through your legs, pelvic floor, low belly. We'll move into our tree practice. Feel free to move around if you need a little more support, maybe a chair or the wall. And then find that mountain pose. Feel your feet digging deep into the mountain beneath you, the mountain above you. And now we're a tree. So come onto one leg. Try not to pop that hip again, right? Stay nice and tall, up and over your leg, and then release the other leg up and out. Maybe your toes are down for a kickstand with your heel by your ankle, or bring your foot to your calf or your thigh, above or below the knee. Really try to stand up nice and tall, reaching through the crown of the head, eyes on your focal point. Maybe you can add branches, reaching, giving a sense of lift and buoyancy to the upper body. The lower body stays grounded and still. Whoops. Come in and out as you need to. 2 more breaths. And exhale, come back through heart center. Walk it out through your feet if you need to. And then come back to stillness. Re-engage through your legs, pelvic floor, low belly, reaching up through the crown. Remember, at the beginning, we created that sense of a strength through the center point of the body. Can you feel that dropping down towards the center of the earth, reaching up towards the sky? And then the shift into the other leg. Again, don't pop the hip. Stay up and over, engaged. Float the leg up and turn out. And find your foot position on this side, above or below the knee. Maybe it's different on this side. Feeling that connection of foot to leg, leg resists. Find your breath. Make sure you're not holding it. Draw your energy up and see if you can open up the canopy of your tree. Some days balance is so easy, and other days it's impossible, and some days it's in the middle somewhere. Honor where you are today. Take your breaths, come in and out, and when you're ready, come back to 2 feet. Walk it out, and come to stillness once again. Maybe you close your eyes, getting very quiet, feeling that sense of balance in the inner body. And if eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Let's take 1 big breath. Exhale to center and release and shake out. I'd like to work a little bit today with our warrior 2. So take a comfortably wide stance. Now, classically, we're told that if you extend your arms out, your feet should be underneath your wrists. Now, for me, that's not a comfortable place. So I come in a little bit more. But I will say that being really close together does not make this easier. Sometimes being a little wider actually gives you somewhere to go. gives you a place to move from. But this is you. You have to feel this in your own body. So starting here, toes are pointing straight ahead. You can bring your hands to your hips. We're going to turn out the right leg. Right from the hip, knee, toes pointing towards the side wall. What happens with the other leg? It turns in. So move your heel out. Your foot is angled at about a, 45-degree angle. The work in this pose, in addition to having a bent knee over your ankle, which we'll do in a second, is to open your hips. But this leg stays, this knee stays over the ankle, right? So don't let the knee drop in or drop out. The work is here to open, okay? So inhale, raise your arms just to shoulder height, bend your front knee right over the ankle. Make sure it's tracking through the middle of those toes. Beautiful. Turn your arms over, palms up, really turn out in your shoulders. And then just turn your hands back over. Look towards your extended arm over your bent knee. Get nice and still. Press down through your feet and imagine you're drawing them towards each other. Getting a nice engagement through the inner legs, the pelvic floor. Lift the low belly. We're going to inhale, straighten your leg, lift your arms, and look to the straight ahead, right? So not over your leg. Inhale here, exhale, and come back into your warrior two. Inhale up and turn just your head. Exhale and drop in. We'll do that 2 more times. And release arms down. Straighten your front leg and turn so all toes face forward. You can take a little tiny hip circle if you like in both directions. And prepare for the other side. So turning your left leg out, right from the hip, knee and toes pointing towards the side wall. Other leg turns in, the heel reaches away, your foot is at an angle, kind of 45 degrees. Inhale the arms out. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale and bend your front knee so it's right over the ankle. Press down through your feet and draw them towards each other. That creates that engagement in the low belly, the pelvic floor, the thighs, the legs. Turn and look over left fingertips. Feel the strength in your body. Next time you inhale, arms come up, straighten your leg, look to the side, well, the front. Exhale and drop back in to warrior two. Inhale up, straighten both legs. Exhale down, bend the front knee. 2 more. And release arms down, turn all toes to face forward, and then carefully walk your legs back in. Take a medium wide stance and let's circle. Let your knees bend, circling the hips. Circling, yes, and the other way. Beautiful. And come back to stillness. I'm going to walk forward a little bit so I can twist. Gentle Tai Chi twist. Let your arms fly open and then gently come in. They should tap your body as they come around. Just a couple of breaths here, softening and letting it go. And then slowly let the movement die down and come back into your mountain pose. Let's take a breath. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do one more standing sequence, our goddess sequence. So let's bring hands to hips and walk out wide, similar to what you just did with Warrior Two. This time we'll turn both legs out so that they're pointing out at about a 45-degree angle, right? So it's not all the way to the side. Most people don't have that kind of turnout. For most of us, it's about 45 degrees. The most important thing is that your knee and toes are pointing in the same direction. Inhale here, arms just to shoulder height. Reach out. This is 5-pointed star. Big inhale and take up as much space as you can. Get nice and tall. Reach through the crown of your head. Reach through your fingertips. Reach through your toes. And then exhale, bend knees and elbows and drop right down into goddess. Inhale here. Exhale, one arm comes across and turn. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale both together. Inhale back to 5-pointed star. Straighten your legs. Exhale into goddess. Inhale here. Exhale. Turn to one side. Inhale, open. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, both together. Inhale to 5-pointed star. One more time. Exhale into your goddess. And let's hold here. Inhale, bring hands to heart center. Exhale, drop a little more. Inhale, press and open. And exhale, release arms down carefully. Walk your feet back in. Take a moment to notice. Do you need a twist? Do you need to shake your legs out? What would feel good right now before we move down to sitting? I'm going to grab my folded blanket. I always forget to have it handy, and it's so comfortable for doing seated poses. So making your way down to a seat, I'm going to sit on the edge of my blanket and bring soles of feet together and knees apart. Once I get here, I'm going to hold on and just rock a little from side to side, softening and letting go. And then come back to center. Notice if this is a lot, and if you have blocks or pillows or folded blankets that you can use, bring them underneath your knees just so that you can let go in the hips and inner thighs. Your legs can be close to your body or they can be further away. It can be more of a diamond shape. Work where it's comfortable for you. Holding on somewhere, knees, shins, ankles, or feet. Inhale and reach through the crown of the head. Get really long in the spine. Exhale, soften and let go in the hips. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, soften. We'll do a few more breaths just like that. If you have blocks under your knees, bring them out. Use your hands underneath your legs to help them out to a nice wide stance. I'm going to slide off of my blanket because that's more comfortable for me, but it's still kind of behind and underneath me just a little bit to give me a nice bit of support. If you have blocks, bring them forward, maybe at the highest or middle level. Try not to let your legs drop out. Try to keep your knees and toes pointing towards the ceiling, or at least in the same direction as each other. Inhale, pardon me, and get really tall. Exhale, we're going to hinge from the hips, beginning to come forward with a long spine. You may not go very far, or you might have more space. But once you find your edge, bring your hands down. Maybe you can rest them on blocks. Maybe you can reach the floor. Maybe your hands are just down. But find a place where you can relax your arms. And we'll do the same breathing that we did with bound angle. Inhale, lengthen, reaching from tailbone all the way up through your crown. Exhale, soften and see if you can tip forward, hinging from the hips. If your hands are down, or your forearms, and you can get the sensation of drawing them back, that can help lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, soften and hinge. See if you have any more space. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, soften. One more breath. And then press into your hands to come all the way up. If you have blocks, move them out of the way. And then carefully draw your legs a little bit closer so that you can take a gentle bounce, maybe a little bit of windshield wipering. And then begin to make your way lying down on your back. Let your knees bend and have your feet on the mat. And do just a little bit of pelvic tilt and head to knee pose before we come into Shavasana. So coming all the way down. We may do a little bit of bridging, so don't have anything under your head, please. Knees bent, feet on the mat, close to your bottom, hands at your sides. Inhale here and exhale, press your low back down, flattening the lumbar curve. Inhale, just release that press. You don't have to hyper emphasize the curve. Exhale, flatten. And inhale, release. Just a few more. Now, if you'd like, press into your feet and lift your hips an inch or more off of the mat. Stay for a breath. Inhale, press up tall, and exhale, softly lower. You do a couple of those if you'd like. And this, or the next time that hips come down, draw both knees up. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And then holding on to one knee, bring the other foot down. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you can slide that leg out long. Keep drawing the knee in and pressing the leg. And draw both knees up again and switch sides. Holding onto one knee, allow the other foot to come down. Maybe you stay right here, or slide that leg out long. You should feel a stretch in the front of your hip, maybe in the back of the hip that you're drawing in. Gentle breath, opening up, and then draw both knees up and in. Allow both feet to come down. Walk your feet out wide. You can bring your arms up in goddess shape if you'd like. And just begin to drop your knees from side to side, gentle twist. You can stay with side to side movement, or if it would feel good, to drop your knees to one side, maybe turn your head in the other direction and hold for a few breaths. Just make sure if you work to one side that you work to the other as well. And when your twisting practice feels complete, just end by drawing the knees in one last time. And then take your time to prepare for Shavasana, resting pose. You will most likely lie down on your back, maybe with pillows under your knees, maybe a pillow under your head. Maybe you'd like a blanket over you. Maybe there's a different position that would feel comfortable. Sometimes people like to bring their legs up on a chair or couch, or even legs up the wall. Whatever feels comfortable, where you can really begin to let go. Take your time, and once you find your Shavasana, take a moment to feel your contact with the earth beneath you. With each exhale, soften just a little bit more, letting go, letting gravity keep you comfortably hugged to the surface of the earth. As you inhale, expand and open up. Exhale, soften and let go. Let your head be heavy. Soften the muscles of your face and jaw. Relaxing through your neck and shoulders. Let your arms be heavy. Release your belly, your hips, legs heavy. Relaxing through ankles and feet. Release, relax, and just let go. I can't help myself. I always feel hopeful at dawn. Watching the world choose light over dark and waking over sleep, I just can't stay grouchy. Of course, the night sky has its delights, too. When Orion's broad shoulders catch my eye, and it appears he's striding into his life with such sparkling fearlessness, I want to cheer him on. Give me an O, give me an R, give me an I, give me an O, give me an N. What you have is the unassailable certainty of wonder. What you have is the wide-eyed gaze of a child looking up, asking, "Do you think I can touch those stars?" Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, begin to roll to one side and pause. And then press in, press into your hands and lift yourself up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for just another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community that we create when we practice together. Bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Namaste.